This little sequence of stills and a little movie at the end is about an attempted break-in at our house the other day here in Prescott, Arizona. This is a picture of the Roadrunner. He was a culprit that was doing, and they're just like cats, and they'll jump up on the rail and show you what they have and race back and forth with them. They want attention. Well, I was in my easy chair trying to read, and I heard a thunk, thunk, thunk on the window, and I thought it sounded like ice cubes dropping in the tray extra heavy. I finally looked outside and I saw the Roadrunner. I realized I had my droid with me and I could take a couple pictures of him. First picture was him running away, and then he came right back to look at me like he was saying, "Okay, buddy, come on outside and I'll show you whose house is. What are you doing there in my house?" He was racing back and forth, and every once in a while he'd come back to the window and look in, and I didn't want to scare him away, so I just stood there. But he did see me, and he was right outside the door. And then he ran around to the other side of the house, and you can see his tail fluffed up outside the window there. He was really giving me what for, and wanted me to know that he was there and this was his house, and what the heck was I doing in it anyhow. And if you look here, he was outside, the blinds were down, darn it, and you can see his beak is wide open. They honk kind of, and they can imitate other birds. And it's hard to tell them sometimes out in the wild because they do disguise their voice. Here he was looking at me through the window and saying, "Come on out, I'll show you who's boss. I'll give you a little what for." Well, I didn't want to do that because those beaks are so tough. They say they can go through the bone of the head of a rattlesnake, and I didn't want that sucker sticking in my shin bone and then have to pull him out and have him ding in my hand or something and try to pull him out of my hand and throw him outside. So I just stayed in there like a coward. I wasn't going to let him get to me. He looked around to make sure I wasn't coming around the back of him or somehow trying to grab his tail, but I surely wasn't going to do that. They're mostly feathers. There's not a lot of meat to them underneath all those feathers. Then he'd come down and stoop down every once in a while and go donk, donk, donk at the mirror, at the glass in the door. And I'd wonder, wow, what's he doing? He must see his reflection, and I think that was probably it. Tail sticks straight up in the air once in a while, and then it flips up in the air and down, up and down, up and down. I don't know why they do it. Maybe it's to fan themselves with it. At another time, a few years ago, he was making a nest in the tree outside Dot's window, my wife, and he came down, hopped out into the sand, and he stood there a while, and he just thunk, went down into the sand face first, and he was lying there, and she screamed, "He had a heart attack, he died, there he is, he died." But he did something called anting, and we happened to get a picture of him. I realized later on that I had my droid. My droid has a movie camera in it, so I took some movies of him, and here you can see him racing back and forth. And I don't think he hit the mirror there, but then he jumped up on the barbecue, and he was going to go away. Got right behind the frame of the sliding glass door. Then he jumped up on the deck railing, and I thought, oh, he's going to go away, so I tried to zoom in on him because I thought I could get a picture of him flying down. I was all ready for that. Then he looked up at the last minute, and zoom, he flew away. People didn't know Roadrunners can fly, but they fly pretty good. And that's the visit from our little Roadrunner here in Prescott, Arizona. He comes around every once in a while and sees us. He's been here for about a total of 10 or 15 years, and it may be another one, but there's always one around.